All right, let's do this. Practice. Let's take a test. Checking your device.
All the trees around the house were healthy.
Okay,
All the trees around the house were healthy.
it's correct. So we got that. So first, see only one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. At least നമുക്ക് മൂന്ന് വേർഡ്സ് ടൈപ്പ് ചെയ്തുകൂടെ ആദ്യമേ വൺ പ്ലേ 10 seconds if you can't hear fully ഇല്ലേ so you have to utilize all the play. Okay, tell the real English words. Traditional, deliberately, unfit, definitive, barrier, gossip, calculate. അറിയാവുന്ന മാത്രം എടുക്കുക വല്ല നെഗറ്റീവ് വരും. What is this? Parisian, I'm not specialized, provider. Okay, these are words I'm sure about. അത് മതി. With what? Restanding. Yeah, we can take restanding. We can make that. Okay. Food labeling regulations. Some people think that all of the information about food they eat appears on the food package or the product itself. However, only some the information is required by law. Law to be stated on the label, such as manufacturer's name and the product's ingredients, other information like products, advisories, and expiration dates may not dates hmm, dates may not be yeah, required but could be could be helpful to the consumer. Many manufacturers manufac- manufacturers or print the food. Okay, we have till time. Labels in a variety of languages as well. Finish. We have still 1 minute left. Right? How's it going? Come on, you can do it. Next one. Write the description image. A dog and a girl. I see a picture of a lady calling her dog towards her. Both of them are near a sea and yeah, and there are people in the background as well. The lady seems very happy, and the dog is moving toward her. I suppose it is a good picture. So we wrote a lot. This attitude allows one to face the hardships within an അപ്പോൾ ഒരു പ്രാവശ്യം നമ്മളൊന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു നോക്കുന്നു അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് നല്ലതായിട്ട് പറയാം. This attitude allows one to face the hardships with as little harm as possible.
When he stood up, he realized that his leg had fallen asleep.
Comma, he realized that his legs had fallen asleep. Okay, let's check.
When he stood up, he realized that his leg had fallen asleep.
Plural അല്ല, leg had fallen asleep. Leg had. Leg had. Past term. When he stood up എന്നുള്ളത് past അല്ലേ, അപ്പോൾ ഇത് present വരുന്നില്ല, past വരുന്നുള്ളൂ. So you can again play.
When he stood up, he realized that his leg had fallen asleep.
കണ്ടോ, when he stood up കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് കോമ ഉണ്ട്. When he stood up, comma. Okay. Now, they help students and researchers understand the order of chronology of historical events for a subject. They help students and researchers understand the order or chronology of historical events for a subject. Good. Uniformed jury members prefer. In jury selection, lawyers are now beginning to favor individuals who are uniformed about the topic of the case. The the what? Lower individuals. The law, what is that? Law is that individuals individuals will okay, the jury selection lawyers are now beginning to favor individuals who are uniformed about the topic of the case. What will be that? The W was വരത്തില്ലല്ലോ. Was coming with experience. No, experience. No, no, no. Expertise. Expertise. Expectation. Expertise. TIS. Expertise in topics will also have strong opinions. This prior knowledge suppose supposedly affect their ability to be impactful, impassionate എന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റും. Okay, what is here? The jury, the lawyers are now beginning to favor individuals who are uniformed about the topic of the case. Uh, the law, what is it? The lower is that എന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റുമോ? The logic. Yeah. Individuals. Okay, only one word is missed. Okay. Retrospect, vaccinate, sentiment, unsuspectable, hypocrisy, arbitrary, ignoration, ignoration, vaccination, sarcastic, fearful, uphold, intimidate, intimidate, and harshly. Okay. An important example of the latter is spotting the partner churning. നമ്മളൊന്ന് വായിച്ചു നോക്കണം. An important example of the latter is spotting the partner during turns, especially free spins.
These tea rooms often double as bakeries so that tea and pastries are enjoyed together.
ഓക്കെ, കേട്ടതെല്ലാം നമ്മളൊന്ന് എഴുതി.
These tea rooms often double as bakeries so that tea and pastries are enjoyed together.
So that tea and dash are enjoyed together. Okay, ഒന്നുകൂടെ കേൾക്കാം, ലാസ്റ്റ് ചാൻസ്.
These tea rooms often double as bakeries so that tea and pastries are enjoyed together.
ഓക്കെ, സോ ദാറ്റ് ടീ ആൻഡ് പേസ്ട്രീസ് അറേഞ്ച്. അപ്പം ഡബിൾ ആസ് ബേക്കറീസ് എന്നാണ് ഇവിടെ വേണ്ടത്. See, see, I've corrected that. He claimed that his decision was because he was concerned for the orchestra's well-being. Okay, let's get ready. He claimed that his decision was because he was concerned for the orchestra's well-being.
All of these scenarios increase the demands for modern refrigeration and manufactured ice.
Yeah, I was focusing there. Yeah, I did not pay attention.
All of these scenarios increase the demands for modern refrigeration and manufactured ice.
Demands for modern refrigeration. Demands for modern refrigeration. And last one.
All of these scenarios increase the demands for modern refrigeration and manufactured ice.
Manufactured ice. Scenarios scenarios increased the demand. Huh? Yes. Scenarios. Wait. Yeah, spelling is wrong. Vacancy, empire. Amateur, youngster, comprehensively, neatly, lengthen, shyness, dockable, dockable, docking, dockable, smog. Smog ഞാൻ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്, ഇതിനകത്തന്നെ കിട്ടും. പക്ഷെ ഞാൻ കൊടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. നോക്കിയ സ്മോഗ് വർക്കുണ്ടോ? Yes. So you can check like that also. Yeah, that's good. William Herschel's theory of stars in 1985. William theorized about the life cycle stars in which a star would exist for a limited amount of time. ഇത് ആദ്യമേ വായിച്ച് മനസ്സിലാക്കുന്ന വളരെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻ്റ്, എന്നാലേ നമുക്ക് കിട്ടത്തുള്ളൂ. Time before exploding in a dramatic event called supernova. He also suggested that afterwards it would collapse into ball of something from which new stars would emerge. Emerge. A ball of gogi വല്ലതും ആയിരിക്കും. Ball of gas ആണോ? Gas from which new stars? Very good. Ball of gas. Could be a ball of gas. So we actually guessed it. GM, ball of gem. I don't know. Let's see. So I think it's pretty good.
The inconvenient parts of camping never seem to bother them.
Part of camping never seem to bother them. Okay, let's play again.
The inconvenient parts of camping never seem to bother them.
Parts of camping never seem to bother them. Okay, again.
The inconvenient parts of camping never seem to bother them.
Correct. So we can use those three. The controller then tells the input to turn off the power as the water is already boiling. The controller then tells the input to turn off the power as the water is already boiling. Okay. Osteopathy, a holistic healthcare approach. In addition to standard medical diagnosis and treatment, osteopathic medicine focuses on the relationship between the body's structure, bones, muscle system, and functions, and how treatments and lifestyle changes can improve and prevent disease. Osteopathic logy. Oh, physiology use hands-on technology called manipulation to loosen constructed CI muscle and joints to what? MUSCLE. There is a mistake. Muscles and joints to heal. Heal ആണോ? Constructed muscles and joints to improve rather oh no improve rates. Oh, what is this? Constructed muscles and joints to heal, improve rates of what? Yes, great. Motion and restrict. No, motion and reassure അല്ലല്ലോ resume ആണോ resumes proper function. Yeah, motion and resumes proper functions to the body. Manual manipulation is one, yeah, one common technique used by and their patients. That's a tough one. We got great. Lumber. Bantif Chapel testify clarity denial. No, conscious, concise, conscience, yes. Motical, overt, no, refrain, digressive, could be, digressive. Frontier, momentum, illiterate, sanction, poetic, decreased. Oh, oh. Deceased. DECEASCD. മരിച്ചുപോയി. The deceased, right? Dead, deceased. Okay. When it moves all the way around the clock, the minute hand band moves forward one space. അതൊന്ന് ഓടിച്ച് വായിച്ച് നോക്കുക. ചില വേർഡ്സുകൾ നമുക്ക് പറയാൻ ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടായിരിക്കും. When it moves all the way around the clock, the minute hand moves forward one space.
You are a school teacher, aren't you?
Aren't you? Aren't you? You are a Vernolo.
You are a school teacher, aren't you?
You are a Vernolo. You are a school teacher, aren't you? Aren't you? Yes. Kitelo. We can again play.
You are a school teacher, aren't you?
Yes. ആ എ കേൾക്കാനില്ല അവിടെ. ബട്ട് നമ്മുടെ ബുദ്ധിപരമായ നീക്കങ്ങൾ കൊണ്ട് നമ്മളത് കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചു. ഇങ്ങനെ ഇരിക്കണല്ലേ എക്സാം ഒക്കെ. Interactive reading. നമുക്ക് പൊളിച്ച് കൈ കൊടുക്കാം. Over the past two. Oh, how do you know that? Over the past 2 decades, technological level. Okay, decades is good. Technological development has കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് എന്ത് വരുന്നുള്ളൂ? Perfect tense വരുന്നുള്ളൂ അല്ലേ? Has been way എന്ന് വരത്തില്ല. Way to number of board changes has given way. അല്ലേ? Given way to number of board changes in communications and information technology. Okay. These changes have fundamentally altered the behavior we connect അല്ല way ആയിരിക്കും way we connect with one another with the natural resources and we connect with one another with natural surroundings with natural resources ആണോ അല്ല I'll check. We connect you with one another with the natural with the natural world with the natural world and yes tricky അല്ലേ time ഉണ്ടല്ലോ with the natural world and no these changes fundamentally alter the way we connect with one another with the natural world and with the natural world അല്ലാതെ വേറെന്തുണ്ട് ഓപ്ഷൻ the natural with the natural process and information nano. These changes have fundamentally altered the way we connect with one another with the natural world and not sure. One of the most profound changes has been the rise of mobile computing, which has transformed the way we communicate, transformed how we communicate, access information, and consume media. Social media has arguably been a been the single most significant factor in encouraging and enabling these transition. Transition well on the Okay, over the past decades, technological development has given way to a number of broad changes in communications and information technology. These changes have fundamentally altered the way we communicate with one another, with the natural world, and with information. Yeah, it sounds good. One of the most profound changes has been the rise of computing, which has transformed how we communicate, access information, and consume media. Social media has arguably been the single most significant factor in encouraging and enabling these transitions. It flows well, right? Oh, ശരിയാണോ തെറ്റാണോ അല്ലേ ഓക്കെ ഓ ചേഞ്ചസ് ആണ് ട്രാൻസിഷൻ അത് നമ്മുടെ ട്രാൻസിഷൻ അല്ലായിരുന്നു വേണ്ടി. Okay, anyway, we'll find out. Select the best sentence to fill the blank of this. Select the best sentence. Okay. ഇവിടെ നമ്മൾ തെറ്റിയോ?
കറക്റ്റാ, വിത്ത് കറക്റ്റാ.
Social media users can use these networks to share views. Social media has arguably been the single most significant factor in encouraging these changes. Social media has arguably been the most significant factor in encouraging enabling these changes. Social media users can use these networks to share the views. Users can use
ഇപ്പം തോന്നുന്നു.
as we increase mobile devices increasingly turn to our mobile devices for information communication because mobile.
മാച്ച് വന്നു.
But these networks to social media users as we increasingly turn to mobile devices for information communication because yes. One popular social media network boasts more than 1 million mobile users. This will be the one. കാരണം ഇവിടെ ദീസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഇവിടെ മൊബൈൽ ഡിവൈസ് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് മൊബൈൽ ഡിവൈസിനെയാണ് കണ്ടിന്യൂ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ആണോ നോക്കി? യെസ് അല്ലേ? തേണ്ട തേണ്ട കറക്റ്റാണ്. What time period is the article focused on? ടൈം വേറെ ഒന്നും പറഞ്ഞിട്ടില്ലല്ലോ, ഇവിടെ എല്ലാം ഉള്ളൂ. പക്ഷെ അത്ര മാച്ചിങ് അല്ല. Yeah, this is good. Time period. Oh, കഴിഞ്ഞില്ലല്ലേ? What's the most important factor in encouraging and enabling changes in communication? What is the most important factor in encouraging and enabling changes in communication? Most important factor in encouraging and enabling changes in communication. Most important factor in encouraging and enabling changes in communication. Rising in mobile computing. അല്ലേ? Social media has arguably been the single most significant factor in enabling these changes. Oh, we were a little bit playful there. Now, this is the interesting part. You are a student who is about to graduate with a degree in acting. You have been searching for jobs and few months now. You haven't had any luck. You decide to ask a professor advice on how you get a job. Oh, how you go about searching for a job in the acting field. I need a help. I've been looking for a job since graduation, but I haven't had any luck. Professor, I'm sorry to bother you. My class. Professor, I'm going to ask a question about something that we talked about in class. Yes, this is better. Yes.
Of course. What is it?
Acting field and job in the acting field അല്ലേ ചോദിച്ചേക്കുന്നത്? Field of ancient studies അല്ലല്ലോ. Actor, but I haven't had any luck. I was wondering if I had any suggestion finding job. Well, I'm interested in working in advising industry. അതല്ല. I have applied for a few teaching position അല്ല. Post course അല്ല, some background research അല്ല. അപ്പോൾ ആക്ടിങ് ജോബ് അല്ല കിട്ടി. Yes.
The acting field is very competitive, so you need to make sure that your application materials and past experience are clear and well organized. Also, have you tried networking with other actors?
I can't work on this right now. Allah. I spend more of the time researching positions only. I'm not sure what I'm looking for. Yeah, I have done some meetups and events, but I haven't really connected with anyone. That's good. I sent a few job applications, but I haven't. No. I'm not sure. Mostly, I look at the post on job numbers and it's really challenging. This is some meetups and events, but I haven't really connected with anyone. I'm not sure. Mostly, I look at posts and job. Wah!
That's not surprising. It can be tough to network when you don't know anyone in the field yet. You should also try going to open auditions and industry events. Those are great places to network and potentially get information about a job.
I did not really listen. Yeah, I've looked some of them, but the position seem to be require experience. Uh, okay, yeah, actually, I just got back from last weekend at the museum. Yes, actually, I got back from the one last, and I met a few people. That's what I heard. It seems these positions are also very competitive. Yeah, I've tried going some of always crowd. Oh, I was thinking something else. I don't know which one. I looked at some of them, but most of the positions seem to be require experience. Which one? Did you hear? I did not pay attention. Crowded, yeah, I was playful. What I've heard, but seems the most also very competitive. That's what I've heard, but this ones are very also very competitive. Okay, let's see. No, we made a mistake. Cheh. I had to listen carefully.
That's true, but if you keep trying and put yourself out there, eventually someone will take notice of you. Just don't give up.
All right, thank you, Professor. You had to really pay attention. I was not paying attention. It's not hard. Summarize what you've heard. It it was a discussion between a student and a professor, where the s- yeah, the had asked student asked the latter advice regarding job opportunities in the field of acting. The professor gave the student very good advice. It was a nice conversation. But if we pay a little bit more attention, we can do much better. Prepare to write about our architects and designers work hard to make homes as functional as possible. Do you think there are design characteristics that all houses and apartments should have? There are design characters. All houses provide examples of those characteristics to support your opinion. You think that there are design characteristics that all houses and apartments should have? Provide examples. When comes to construction of houses or any sort of buildings, It is important that we consult with a professional architect and even get proper guidance from designers. The reasons are multifaceted. Primarily, getting proper design prior to starting work will ensure safety, safety, safety of the building as well as safety of the building. Secondly, it will ensure that all amenities, including plumbing, electrical work, and such kind, are given provision well in advance so that there won't be any confusion in the latter period of time of work. Architects characteristics example that we should pay attention include the functionality of the building building as well as fittings. It's not that great, is it? If, for example, how well the water system works or how functional the waste disposal pipes are. Working on these things without expend on them ensures safety as well as proper outcome. So typing speed matters, right? So four paragraphs will write. To conclude, by paying attention on the design, one can ensure safety and full functionality of a building. Finish. നാല് പാരഗ്രാഫ് ആണല്ലേ? So you have to type very fast. Come on.
What is your typical morning routine? What is your favorite part of this routine?
I like to go for jogging early in the morning. I wake up 5 a.m. every day. Can you believe that? And then I go with my dear friend Matthew. We just go around the house, and sometimes we go to Coney, which is a nearby village, and we'll try to jog for at least 10 to 15 minutes. It's really helpful. And my favorite part of this is that chasing dogs. When we run, sometimes dogs will come after us, and always we carry some stones with us. We also carry some guns sometimes, even though it is not legally permitted. And when these dogs attack us, we try to throw the stones at them, and if they don't go away, we'll use our guns. Believe me, that is very interesting part of my daily life. And by doing this, I have been able to keep myself fit, and I can see much improvement in my health. And by going for a jogging in the early morning, I feel so fresh, energetic, and strong every day. I think in the future also I'll continue to jog with my friend Matthew. My another friend Elisa also is planning to join us. Let's see if she will follow us. I hope that these dogs won't chase us anymore. They must be afraid of us. Prepare to speak about the image below. 90 seconds to speak. In the picture, I see three people just sitting, maybe waiting for an interview. I see a lady sitting in the middle. She's surprised and looking at the guy who is wearing a t shirt, black in color. And the lady seems to be very funny, but the gentleman on the other side, on the right hand side, which is who is wearing a blue formal shirt and some kind of brown pants, seems to be really interested in something else. Maybe he is really waiting for his name to be called. And the other two people who are sitting in the left and the lady in the middle may be cracking some jokes. Perhaps they are talking about some movie, maybe about Jim Carrey. Some of his movies are very interesting, right? As you know. And I think both of their names will be called soon, but the first name will be that gentleman, because he is really interestingly waiting for his name to be called. And I think the room is pretty nice, and I can see there is paint. It is white, and I can also see some whiteboard. They are seated comfortably on some wooden chairs, which is painted in black, and they are just casually waiting. I hope good things will happen to them. Okay. Talk about a time you improved a skill by practicing it. Describe the aspects that the most practice to need the most practice, and how you improvise as results of the practice. When it comes to skill, the first thing that comes to my mind is none other than communication. I used to be an introvert, and I was really afraid to speak to anybody. But once I realized the grammatical structures and how simple the English language was, I started taking initiatives and started speaking in front of the crowd. It required a lot of practice, faith, encouragement from dear ones. So, by daily practicing my grammar and working on my vocabulary and sentence construction, I was able to improve my pronunciation skills, grammatical skills, and was able to deliberately deliver nice messages in front of anybody without hesitation. I think anybody could improve their communication skills if they are dedicated, can have the fundamentals of their grammatical skills, the rudimentaries. They should first understand how English language works, and then if they just work on their pronunciation skills, they can easily, in front of anybody, can deliberately deliver messages without hesitation. I also try to teach these skills to my friends whom I can see are improving in their communication skills. This is a really good skill and I enjoy it. Come on, come on, come on, come on, don't sleep. Writing and speaking sample. It's not over. Oh man, so much. Prepare to write about the topic below. Write about the last time you made a choice or decision. How did you make the decision? Include specific details of the response. Oh, okay. So, make a decision. What a decision. When it comes to decision making, everybody stumbles, and being in such a place is not really easy. I have had my own share of stories to tell. I've been I have been waiting to buy a phone for a long time. However, when I got enough money to buy it, I got confused between the choice of Android and iOS. While each has its own perks, I I couldn't really be decisive about it in easily. Therefore, I had to depend on my friend who is an expert on mobile phone and technology. After undergoing countless sessions of advice from my friend, I finally decided to go for the Apple iPhone rather than Android. There are a couple of valid reasons why I chose I iPhone over Android. Firstly, Apple iPhones are expensive. I like expensive stuff. Secondly, I'm just making joke, okay? Secondly, iPhones have good processing speed, which is far superior in comparison to Android. Having made the decision last July, I purchased my first ever Apple iPhone 14 Pro. To my surprise, it works like a charm, and I am really happy that I made the right decision. I'm also glad that I took advice from my expert friend. മൊത്തം പുകയാണ് ബട്ട് അടിച്ച് പൊളിച്ച് എഴുതി. Ellie,
Speaking.
make sure you send in the camera. What is this? Speaking sample. Oh, it's not finished. Still. Okay, center of the camera. We'll talk about that. We'll talk. Who is the person you think has impacted your life? Which, what impact you have had on the person and how? Oh. Uh, when it comes to people who impacted my life, the first person that stick out, and it's easy to talk about that person, that's none other than Jesus Christ. And he's an amazing person, and I'm not a religious person or anything, but seeing the qualities of life that Jesus Christ has shown, I am forced to live like him. The most important characteristic that I have noticed in Christ is his humility. He, even though had many opportunities and options, chose to be born as a humble person in a manger rather than being born as a king in a palace. So that shows how practical and how we can connect with God. Secondly, the way he dealt with people who the society considered as sick, sinners, and poor. So he was called the friend of sinners, the friend of prostitutes and adulterers and tax collectors. By even though he didn't commit any sin, he was close friends with people who lived in sin, who lived in depression, and society had rejected. So that actually forced me to live a life like him and to love people and not to judge them. That's one of the other qualities, that Jesus was never judgmental, and he had compassion flowing out of him so that everybody wanted to be with him, especially children, because he even said once, leave children to me, and if you become like a child, the heaven is for you, and the kingdom of heaven is for you. Unless you turn and become like a child, you can't enter the kingdom of God. So that again made me think that I should become like a child and not to just think much of myself and humble myself. So there are so many other characteristics that this person has affected, impacted on my life, which enables me to be humble and motivated and go forward and love people unconditionally, and not to be a superhero but be a common person, impacting, enabling, and strengthening lives. And I can't think of anybody else who has had such impact on my life like Christ. And if people all around the world listen to his words and read his story, I am sure the world will become a better place, that mercy and compassion will start flowing out of them. And he taught us love not only our neighbors but also our enemies, and do good to those who hates you, persecute you. And if the world takes his compassionate messages and lifestyle and put them into practices, this world will be become heaven and not hell. We can change things. And that's all. That's my wonderful speech. Thank you.
No thanks, no thanks.
130.
ഇതല്ലല്ലോ നമുക്ക് സ്കൂള്.
135 to 145. I think I was doing in a, what do you call, little bit of funny way. Some places we had missed. Okay, but if we pay a little bit more attention, we can score even higher marks. Okay, so all right, so that's for today. And if you pay a little bit more attention, and I was doing it in a playful manner, and okay, you can score more, much better marks. And what do you think? Duolingo is quite easy, right? Yes, yes, yes. But you have to work on your typing skills, listening skills, speaking skills. So all these are measured. Okay, and all the best. Thanks for watching.